Hey everybody, it's me, deogenz, and it's time for Pokemon of the Week. This week, we're going to delve into the fossil record of the Kalos region to find what happens when you resurrect the jaw fossil. It's Tyrantrum with his awesome type. Well, okay, slightly awesome typing. I think it's really cool that we finally have a rock dragon. Just came to my realization that we didn't have that before the 6th gen. But the thing that also bums me out about the 6th gen is the addition of the fairy type. It's a love-hate relationship because the fairy type definitely makes things interesting. But it saddens me that the dragons are just not as potent as they were before. Because look at all the weaknesses it has. It is immense. Now, it's important to mention that this typing dual rock dragon also resists 5 other types, so you'll have plenty of times to play this, hopefully. But the unfortunate thing is the weakness to ground or fighting, or even steel, because those are moves that can be included on Pokemon not of that type, so it's easy to have, I don't know, say, just for argument's sake, a normal type that's very bulky that has an Earthquake. So you're going to be coming into Pokemon that you think you could switch into, when in reality you really can't. So this poke, when you play with him, it's going to take a bit more prediction and know-how of what movesets are potential for whatever your opponent throws out. Now, let's look at the base stats here, because the ability is the only one you can have at this time, Strong Jaw, which is a pretty good ability to have. What it does is increases biting type moves by 50%, so Crunch or Fire Fang, which actually would play into something interesting that I'll talk about on the next set. But you want to have Crunch, of course, because of the Strong Jaw ability. It's the only move that will be affected within this set thanks to that ability. But on the side of effort values, you're going to max out your attack, and similar to how last week we dealt with a special tank, this week we're going to deal with a physical tank. Something that can be super effective in its offensive abilities physically, however, has excellent defense. So if you do happen to run into one of your weaknesses and they do throw something physical at you, hopefully it won't be a one-hit KO. Most likely it won't. Most likely it won't, so long as you follow this effort value range here. I put some extra points to health, just so that it could last a tad longer on the field. I'm not really sure where this would be placed in a tier, especially since this is the first rock dragon. I don't even know if it would make it to UU, quite frankly, just because of all of its weaknesses and its vulnerabilities to fairy types, but I guess we'll see. You can comment below on what you think about that. So other than Crunch, Dragon Claw, of course, for your stab coverage of the dragon dual type. Earthquake, because Earthquake is awesome as always, and will take care of your steel types. But, you know, you may want to consider using Brick Break in place of Earthquake. This way you could take out your steel and your ice types, and it's just something to consider. You know, again, coverage with this poke is difficult, especially on this set in particular, because I have no investment in speed. So it's a risky physical tank just because of all the weaknesses it has. You know, and that's why I like the next set better, but we will get to that. You know me, I'm all about the offensive sets, so anything that tries to take a tad bit more defensive aspects, it doesn't bode well with me, because I know due to all these weaknesses, doesn't matter how much you boost your regular physical defense. How about that special defense? Yeah, only 59. And guess what? Fairy, dragon, steel, all these types here that it's weak to have plenty, an array of special attacking moves that will destroy Tyrantrum. So you could see where my confusion on what to do with this poke comes. You know, certainly putting 252 towards the special defense stat would just be kind of throwaway, because on its own right, it's not meant to be a wall. It's a tank. It definitely can take some hits, and it doles them out terrifically. However, you gotta be careful of those special moves. So, something else to help you out, instead of having Earthquake or Rock Slide, you could have Stone Edge, but it does have lower accuracy, so I recommend combining that with the Hone Claws. It'll boost your physical attack and your accuracy all in one shot, so it's nice to do if you get a free switch on something that you resist, like a fire type. This next set here is way more my style. I'm all about hitting them hard and hitting them fast. That's why for the effort value ranges, we're going to max out attack and max out speed. Its speed is way better than its special defense, so that's why I think this set, in the end, is going to work out better for you, just because trying to hold on to one defensive stat when the overall package of a poke is having these huge holes in its barriers like special defense, it just doesn't seem to work out to me, because I know how easy it would be to send in a special sweeper to this set, and it would be demolished, or rather the last set. So for the Reckless Rampage, it's not actually readily available today, and the reason is because of its ability Rock Head, but I wanted to mention it because it is a spectacular ability, one again which only powers up one of its moves, Head Smash. I didn't notice Double Edge in its movesets on Cerebi, I might have just skipped it over. But even so, why would you need that? Because Head Smash is a 150 rock-type stab that normally would do a massive amount of recoil. And thanks to the ability Rock Head, that no longer is an issue. So if you PP max this poke's move, Head Smash, so it doesn't just have 5, you could use it 8 times, you will demolish, so long as nothing resists it. And even then, if something resists rock types, it's going to have a hard time holding on with you maxing out that attack and having a stab plus the Rock Head ability to keep you on the field. Then, if you want to just add extra damage on top of damage, you could include a Life Orb for Pete's sake, just so that instead of losing health for the sake of having a strong move, you can aid a strong move and take that health and turn it into power. It's perfect. And something I realized when I was talking about the first set, which actually would have made more sense to put the additional moves that I have on this set over there, is the Fang moves. I do believe they should be affected by the Big Jaw ability, so although I omitted them from the first set, they do offer some good ranging for super effectiveness against steel and dragons and other things like that. Of course, you've got Dragon Claw, so you don't really need to worry about that. But if you had Ice Fang, you could take out ground types, you could take out dragon types, but again, redundancies there. And I don't really know how much, 50% would it be that significant to use on all these Fang moves, like Poison Fang for fairy types. It might be if you want to have more coverage, but I'll leave that up to you. Because if you go with the Rock Head ability, which unfortunately isn't available right now, you won't get that benefit to Crunch. But still, Crunch is a very strong move, and I personally rather launch a 150 base physical attack without having to feel the hurt of any recoil. And if you decide to just stick with the leftovers, you won't even have to lose health every time you use a move. So that has been my sets for Tyrantrum. I think I said Tyrannotum early in the video, but I know it's Tyrantrum. Sorry about that. What do you think of this new fossil? I think it's fantastic. I really love this and Aurorasaurus. I think they're both really cool fossil iterations for the 6th generation. Let me know below, have you played with Tyrantrum? Are you using them in your main quest? I've been deogenz reminding you to subscribe to Planet Poke, and I will see you next week.
Introduction, in which we will discuss what the heck is effort value training anyway. Well, here's a great comparison to make you realize the importance of these things, these hidden stats that Nintendo will not let you know about. Have you ever versed a friend who had the same